They say that some people can predict their own death. Now, while I have my assumptions of how that might occur for me, I do seem to imagine how the funeral will go with utmost clarity. And though a bit morbid, I beg you to imagine with me. You hear of my passing when checking your mail and receiving a manila envelope with your name and address neatly written in manuscript. There's no return address. You open up the envelope to read the letter inside. It says, "What's good, everybody? This is Brandon Blox from Nana Piranha, and you're cordially invited to my funeral." The date and destination are included. There isn't much else within the letter. There's a postscript. If I owe you money, it'll be paid back in full at the funeral. "Shit, I'm about to go get my $10 back," you exclaim without hesitation and dust off your wardrobe. You're ready and dressed to the nines. You head out, and once you get to the location, you get in a line of people that wasn't meant to be a line. You spot near the front, there's this one hulking beast of a man painfully waddling up the steps. And since each step he takes requires every bit of effort from him, a procession has formed behind him. You see, I chose this location with intention due to the absurd amount of steps. I knew people would cry from physical exhaustion by the time they got inside, therefore creating the perfect funeral ambiance. Once you enter the building, you see my wife and kids weeping and quietly greeting guests. You approach them. You feign sympathy as you say, "Hello." But then you ask for the $10. My wife digs in her purse and obliges. As you pocket the note, you happen to look down the aisle towards me, laying dapper as fuck in my casket. But you don't bother to say goodbye. Your intentions were cold and calculated. You got what you came for, and you turn to leave, but are unexpectedly ushered into a pew next to the overweight gentleman from before. He notices you, and through asthmatic breathing, he gasps, "Hello," and does a strange wave with his Vienna sausage-sized fingers that makes you uncomfortable. You sit down awkwardly near the end, giving this man his space. You wait patiently as guests filter in and fill the hall. I was either loved in life, or I borrowed a lot of money. You confidently assume the latter. Either way, the place is packed. The man next to you, his breathing hasn't slowed. It seems like it's gotten worse. He fidgets, and the pew beneath him begins to bow, causing you to slide towards him. You try your best to resist, but you slowly skate toward him as he licks his lips, wheezing incessantly. With a gentle plop, you're now nuzzled against his arm. The man pleasantly smells of sauerkraut and corn chips. "Hello, I'm Paul." The man pants. You shrug indifferently, not caring about introductions. Luckily, the service starts. A small, bald, pale, liver-spotted man dressed in priest robes approaches the podium and begins. "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today." The priest rambles as you begin to dissociate. You're too busy planning on spending your $10 to notice people frantically trying to stop and redirect the senile Monsignor from reciting the script for a wedding ceremony. But there is no stopping Monsignor. He continues like a broken, but still active, slowly moving freight train that refuses to retire or be derailed, forcing everyone to wait and wait. A bag of Flaming Hots, a beef stick, a 20-ounce Dr. Pepper, a small pack of pizza-flavored combo pretzels, a bagged Big Pickle. It'll be a $10 well spent. You mentally note the shopping list. You jump as Paul slurps in approval. He is now sweating profusely. Did he just read your mind? No, couldn't be. That's absurd. You conclude that he must be tasting the salt and grease from licking his own pores. Your attention finally returns to the front. The Monsignor has just happily officiated my marriage. You clap out of instinct, a reaction well intended, but here, a simple mistake. Paul shoots you a look of disbelief. He's shocked. His eyes intensely declare, "You are crazy." You stop abruptly, clearly embarrassed. Paul notices your shame. His look changes from bafflement to concern. To your surprise, he himself musters a mighty clap. You wince as you're splashed by greasy perspiration, and a pungent blast of sauerkraut uppercuts your nostrils. The sonic boom cracks within the confines of the hall. A moment of silence. You look at Paul. His face reads that he intended to continue, but his coarse breathing commands him otherwise. You nod in appreciation at your heavy comrade, while the rest of the service explodes with applause. Was it the wrong timing? Was it confusion? Was everyone present at this funeral on the spectrum? None of this was apparent, except this mammoth of a man was a hero, your hero. "Thank you," you mouth sharply. Paul reads your lips and manages a smile back, but the smile turns awry. He grabs his heart and winces, his face contorted with pain. You jump up in panic. Something's wrong. "Help!" you scream, but your cries are drowned out by the applause. People spring from their seats to join your stance in a standing ovation. The clapping is amplified. "No, you idiots! Help! Help!" you beg. You cry. Tears stream down your face. Snot leaks into your mouth as you watch Paul gasp his last. Your hero is dead. Eventually, the clapping fades. It would later be determined the combination of cardio, the excitement, and clogged arteries caused Paul's heart to fail. But still, you can't help but feel somewhat responsible. Although traumatic, you choose to remember. You decide to keep a pocket of sauerkraut to whiff when needed to refresh your memory. Although you know your conscience won't allow you to forget, and it will eat at you, and your mind will forever be tormented with a haunting question. Would Paul still be alive if you hadn't gone to get your $10 back?